It's kind of the same reason why I don't do my commentary in tandem with gameplay. I get too into one or the other, and I can't do both at the same time. And without a second computer, I wouldn't be able to monitor chat or the stream. I have a laptop I could monitor it with, but again, it leads back to either I'd be talking or playing, and I'm not good at doing both at the same time, especially at equal levels of quality. Man. Okay, well, I've got some time to fill here. So I guess I need to figure out how to write scripts better, because I'm almost out of script and still have an hour to fill in for. So I'm going to talk a little bit more, I guess, about Diablo 4 and my experience with that so far, and since unfortunately there's not going to be a video for it anyway. So the content so far is actually really good. Mephisto's an evil bastard, but I mean, he is hatred incarnate, so that should kind of go without saying. But yeah, the story so far has been really great as far as what's been happening with Narel since the end of the main story. The content is good. I do like the direction they're trying to go with Diablo 4. With some of the changes they've made, but it's gonna definitely take some getting used to for me. Like, I know they're trying to listen more to the community, and they're kind of trying to reincorporate certain things that didn't necessarily, or that people were asking for from previous iterations like Diablo 3. So now they've, for example, gone from the traditional Diablo 4 world tier setup, where it's world tier 1, world tier 2, world tier 3, and then Torment is world tier 4. They've kind of brought it back more to Diablo 3 in terms of it has 5 difficulty settings that you can access at any time prior to the end game. Torment only encompasses the end game, and I think the last time I was on there I saw there was something like 4 or 5 tiers of Torment. So it's not quite like 3 that had like umpteen Torment levels. Right now there's only 4 or 5 available. But they are sort of trying to go with that same similar setup. They changed the level system to segregate character levels from Paragon levels, which is kind of cool. So if you haven't been on in a while like me and you log in, you might notice you're no longer listed as level 100, but level 50 with a blue number under your level. That blue number is now your Paragon level, so your level 60 is now the max character level. So if you were previously level 100, it was actually level 50 character level, level 50 Paragon. So your level 50 character now, if you were over level 50, you'll have to re-level to level 60, and then you can access your Paragon in the end game. What I don't like that they did with that is, because they changed the Paragon system, your Paragon boards got reset. So if you're like me and you didn't have screenshots of your Paragon boards, or you didn't have notes, pardon me, about how you had your Paragon board set up, you better hope you can remember how to do that stuff from memory, because your Paragon boards are going to get reset and you're going to have to respec them entirely once you reach character level 60. So have fun with that. I know I'm a little irked about that, because I didn't take screenshots of my Paragon boards. I have no notes on how I had built my Paragon boards. So I'm going to have to completely refigure out how to configure my Paragon boards. Also, over time, as they've been changing the loot system and weapon system and crafting system and all of that, a lot of gear has been deemed legacy. It cannot be altered. It cannot be scrapped. Well, it can be scrapped and it can be sold, but it cannot be reobtained because it's legacy. No vendor sells it. It's no longer in the loot tables. So if you got anything you've been holding on to for a while that you really like and you might want to stay holding on to for sentimental value or whatever it may be, don't get rid of it, because if it's legacy, once it's been removed from your inventory. It is gonzo. So I'm still using legacy gear because I haven't figured out a setup with the new setup that I might want to utilize that would replace the value I get from my legacy gear, because some of my legacy gear is like top tier. So yeah, that's kind of the basic changes that I can think of with Diablo. Like I said, great story so far. Really wish I hadn't lost that content because I would have loved to have shared it with you guys. And like I said, I may revisit recording it with a different character, but it's not going to be anything right now that, which honestly is fine, because trying to record and edit 2 games in tandem is not very easy, and I'm still prioritizing God of War. But yeah, damn shame that that didn't work out, because it is good content and I am enjoying it so far. And I highly recommend it if you are a Diablo fan and you haven't picked up Vessel of Hatred yet. Give it a shot, because it is good stuff. Sorry, I'm just trying to fill in audio. I'm probably going to have to record this in chunks anyway, because I did write a script for this. First time ever writing a script. I used to be able to just sit down in front of a video and spew out whatever I needed to fill in commentary, but also in the past, typically we're talking like 10, 15, 20, 30-minute videos at max, whereas now I have to fill content for an hour and 45 minutes divided across 3 videos. And so I wrote a script for the first time ever. I didn't know how many pages I needed, though, so I only wrote like 8 pages, and I'm already on the last page, and I'm like 50 minutes into this, so I still have like another 50 minutes I have to fill. So I'm probably going to have to at some point stop and take a break and write some more script to fill time. But right now I'm just doing my best to pad it out by talking a little bit about Diablo, since unfortunately at the time I wrote the script, Diablo Vessel of Hatred was not out yet, and I did have plans to record it, which unfortunately got whomped by OBS. It seems like every time I fix a problem with OBS finds another problem. Like, I don't know if that's other people's experience with OBS or not, but it's great software when it works, but a lot of times it likes to not work, and it likes to throw random shit in your face and fuck with you. Like, I'm going to have to make sure after I'm done with this recording session to carefully look at OBS's settings before I record anything else, or else I may end up with another no audio situation like I did last time. And I already have 2 sets of video, including this one, that I have to record audio for because of that, and I don't want to do it again. And that's how I lost Diablo Vessel of Hatred, because at some point it decided to record at a resolution that's double the resolution of my monitor at a frame rate that it just did not compress very well. So even when I would try to re-encode it and re-render it at 2560 by 1440 at 60 frames a second, it would come out at like 1 frame a second, and it was terrible. I actually let 2 Diablo videos go live on YouTube before I figured that out, and I had to go back in and delete them because there was no way to recover them. No matter how many times I tried to retranscode it or whatever, I couldn't get it to work right. So, but I did finally figure out how to get OBS to actually adjust its record settings based on its source rather than some arbitrary number. So hopefully that has been alleviated until the next time it decides it wants to break, which will probably be today, since I'm using USB audio to record in Audacity. And it did that to me once already. When I was testing the audio recording to do this recording, the same day I went to record more God of War, that footage also does not have audio, because OBS somehow did something with the audio settings and everything got foobarred. And it's just a nightmare. It's a learning curve, but I'll eventually get it. But I had to old man yell at cloud for a second there, because it seems like every time I fix something in OBS, it has to find something else that doesn't work. Like I said, I don't know, maybe I'm getting old, but I used to be able to do commentary on the fly, no issue. Still not while gaming, but I could sit down in front of a video and just talk and get good commentary. And I sat in front of this footage the first time I was trying to do this and tried to wing it like I used to in the past. And I think I made it about 6 or 8 minutes into the video and ran out of things to talk about. So I realized I really needed a script to help me with controlling structure and flow of time and yada da da da, which I've never done before. But I know that's actually a pretty typical thing on YouTube. A lot of content creators, if not all content creators, who generate series content go by scripts. Let's see here. I just miss being able to structure a flow off the cuff on a hot mic. So yeah, now I'm struggling with fighting OBS, teaching myself OBS, Kdenlive, which is the open source video editor I'm using, and Audacity all at the same time, which I've never used because I used to be able to do everything all in one in Premiere Pro on Windows. Not that I'm griping, not that it's a bad thing, it's just a different process. I just have to get used to doing it a different way. That's all. And that's really all Linux is it's no worse or, well, you could argue it's better than Windows in a lot of ways, but generally, objectively speaking, it's no worse or different than any other operating system. It just operates differently. So you just have to get used to the way it does it. But like I said, I guess it's not necessarily a bad thing that I'm sticking to scripts because, like I said, I know it's usually a structure and timing thing, and plenty of other professional channels do it just fine. I just need to get better at figuring out script pacing because, like I said, I wrote 8 pages and it barely got me 45 minutes. I'm managing to stretch out another 10 now by expounding on subjects of the last page of the script, but I will probably have to take a break once I get through this and adjust so that I can fill out the rest of the time. Because I imagine some of it'll get cut or padded with me talking about actual stuff happening in the game, but I'm just being transparent and honest with you guys. Like, I'm fully committed to making this thing consistent and see what happens, and maybe I need a new channel, or maybe I can make this one work. Time will tell. I have given thought in the past. Sorry, technical stuff, so there was a little bit of dead air at the end there of that thought, and it cut because I wasn't sure if Audacity was still recording. Again, still learning things. But as I was saying, I have given thought in the past to possibly just starting a new channel, just because I have had this one for a while, but it's also been sitting here doing nothing for a while. And I don't know if it's worth it to try and continue working with this channel if I want to try and build something out of it, or if it would be better to just start a new channel and start a new, as it were. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, you guys need to know the score, and so I was using this as a chance to get everyone an update and let everyone know where things stand. But commentary will be much more natural and flowing and relevant to what's happening in the game in the future. I just, like I said, I had to expound some things here. But this has never really been more than a hobby for me, and I have no aspirations of becoming some huge YouTuber. And I do recognize, big or small, that there is a responsibility to the audience, and if you want to grow or even maintain that audience, you do need to put in the work to make a more consistent schedule, if nothing else. I still don't have any bumpers to use in videos, like an open or a close. I need to figure that out. Either I need to figure out how to animate it myself with software on my setup, or hire someone on Fiverr or whatever to do some like 5 to 10 second bumpers for me. It's been on my mind for a while to up the production value of my content, and my new setup can definitely help make that easier. I just got to get my head around it all. But like I said, enough old man yells at cloud. I'm going to try and come up with a list of games in my library that I haven't played or completed on Steam yet, even if I've played or completed them elsewhere. Maybe put together a poll or something and see what you guys think I should record next. I'd ask you guys what you think, but without relevant data to know what games are on the table, you're not really going to be able to give me an informed answer. So like I said, I need to work some stuff out with that. And then I did have a spot here where I was going to talk more about Diablo, but I kind of already expounded on that. So at this point, it seems like I might need to take a 5 and figure out what to do to fill in the rest of this content. And then we'll put it back together and see where we go. Okay, I'm back. I took a short little break just to sort some things out and prepare for this last bit of recording here. I do have to say that I seem to be making some progress with Audacity today in the time I've been trying to put this together. Because I found an effect called loudness normalization, which seems to be helping me level out the recordings for now until I figure something else out. Because I don't know if it's an audio setting somewhere in my system settings or something in Audacity itself that needs to be adjusted, but this setup currently is very sensitive. Like, I'm using a Blue Yeti mic, and it's the same Blue Yeti I was using before on my Mac with Premiere Pro. And when I would record audio on there, it leveled fine. Like, I didn't have any issues with it leveling or anything like that. Like, you know, volume gain, all that stuff, good. Boom, no problem. But as it stands currently with this setup, like, I don't know if the drivers are super sensitive, if there's a setting in my system settings that I need to adjust for this audio channel, what the situation is. I do need to look more into that, but this mic is super sensitive on this setup. Like, I have the volume on the mic turned all the way down. I have the gain pretty much turned all the way down. And even so, like, just sitting in front of this microphone at my desk talking, I'm like peaking my decibels in Audacity. So the only way to level it out to where it's a tolerable playback currently is to use that loudness normalization. But like I said, I need to just figure something out because I don't know what it is that's going on, but it's something, and it needs to be adjusted. Because I mean, this works for now, so I'm not messing with it right now, because ultimately I will break something else that I'll have to work around and readjust to accommodate whatever else I adjust. But yeah, I think it's just something in my system, like maybe the default volume for the microphone in the system is like stupid high or something, but I'll get it figured out. But this stuff here with the prophecy in the game, it's wild stuff. Like, I don't know where they're going with it. I don't know, like, how they're going to turn it out. Like, obviously I'm much further along in the game at this point than where we are here in the videos. I had to stop uploading until I could figure out this audio situation with these edits, but I've still been playing, recording, and editing, so I do have a queue waiting once I get these up. So I have played ahead a little bit, and I do know a little bit more about what's going on. And it's just wild, because it's like, I mean, I don't want to get spoilery or anything, but it's really hard to tell later on, like, are they going to actually, like, fulfill the prophecy? Are things that are happening just coincidence? Who knows? But it's wild stuff. I guess we'll find out as we progress. Like I said, I've been managing to avoid spoiling things, even though, yes, this game's been out for a few years on PS5 already, but I've been waiting, and I've been purposely avoiding spoiling anything for myself even now. I do like this Angrboda character. She's interesting. The whole situation with the Giants is very interesting, and I do like how this is all... I like what God of War Ragnarok is doing with the lore of Loki and the Nords and all of that. It's good stuff. Let's see here. I'm just going to pull up Steam really quick while we're doing all of this, and I'm going to look at some games that are in my list to see what other stuff I can use to produce some content. Obviously, not a lot of new stuff, but stuff we can work with. Doesn't necessarily have to be new just to make a video on it. Obviously, new stuff gets attention, but older stuff's good too. So I'm just going to take a look here and see what I have that I think we could make some good content with. Jedi Survivor plays decent on Linux. I've already played it, but I am in a New Game Plus. Like I said, I would like to do some more Ghost Runner, but I'm not as good at that endless mode as I'd like to be. I was really planning on doing Vessel of Hatred, but like I said, I've already lost so much content for that it's really just not going to work out. I got some Far Cry games here I haven't played yet. Could always do that. I've played like 4, 5, and 6, but I haven't played New Dawn or Primal or Blood Dragon. I haven't even really played 3. Let's see, what's some other stuff? We could get some good old Doom going on. I've played both 2016 and Eternal already, but never anything wrong with some Doom. There's some classic Doom in here too. I've got Doom 1, 2, and 3. Let's see here. Got some Cuphead. I never did finish the DLC for that. Red Dead, the original Red Dead's coming to PC. Finally, after 14 friggin' years. I could always do something with that, but I'm probably not going to buy it right when it comes out. I'm probably going to wait for a sale because they want $50. And that's just crazy because you can still get the complete edition of the first game on Xbox for like $30, the 360 edition, and it's still backward compatible and you can still play it that way. And I mean, I have it in an emulator as well, so it's not like I can't play it. I just wanted to play a proper PC release, but like I said, I'm gonna have to hold off. I haven't done all the Arkham games on PC yet. I do need to get back to Baldur's Gate 3, although I'm thinking I might end up having to restart that just because I haven't played it in so long. What's some other stuff we could look at here? Like, I'm not lying when I say, like, my backlog's huge. And then Steam Families just came out now, so I've got that going on with my old lady. So there's some games she has I could play. Like, she has Lollipop Chainsaw, I could play that too. And we could record that. That could be interesting. I never played the original one, but she loves those games. We could do some No Man's Sky, but that would never end. I'm still trying to finish New Game 7 on Sekiro. Maybe I could... Yeah, I'm at the final fight, though. I was going to say maybe I could record some Sekiro content, but... Like I said, nearing the final fight. We got some Wolfenstein here. We got a lot of stuff that we could possibly throw together some content with. I don't know. I'll have to mill through it some more. Figure out what's what there. Like I said, Dead Rising's got some new stuff coming out later this month that I'll probably jump on. Well, I know I'll be playing it with my wife, so maybe I'll record some of that too. Let's see here. Let's scrub this a little bit. So you can see, because I've got the video playing back through the video editor to kind of help timeline it with where I'm at in the audio recording. Not that I've been talking that much about the game, but I mean, hey, hour and a half is a lot of content to fill, and I can't just be like, and Atreus does you know, it's not a play-by-play type deal. So I do apologize. I'm going to try and get better about putting this kind of stuff together, but like I said, I was not planning. This was not planned. It was forced due to the circumstances with OBS and whatnot. I was gonna. I had planned commentary for God of War, but then I unplanned commentary for God of War because I wasn't set up to do commentary when God of War started, and I was putting content out trying to keep up with it. So it was kind of like, well, I didn't have it ready from the start, so then I wasn't going to worry about commentary, and then this happened, so here we are. I apologize again. This is probably not the greatest commentary track, but I unfortunately was not fully prepared for it. Script only carried me through about an hour. I'm kind of trying to improvise this last 45-ish minutes, and it's quite challenging. So I appreciate everyone's patience, and we'll get through it. I promise. Come on, girl. I did recently play through Ghostbusters Remastered. I love the Ghostbusters games. Or the game. That particular one was really good. I played it when it first came out on 360, and I used to love the online. I never have finished Crash 4 on here because I was getting too sidetracked with trying to 100% everything, which is very difficult, and I should just ignore that and just finish the story. And then try and maybe go back and clean that stuff up later, because, yeah, that game gets challenging. Destiny 2 cannot happen because even though BattleEye anti-cheat does work in Linux, their iteration of it does not include the Linux support. So Destiny 2 is absolutely not playable on Linux. Got the other Diablos here. Fallouts could get some Fallout action going on. I got like all the classic Fallouts in here too. The only one I've ever actually played through is 4, but I wanted to explore the others. So I got New Vegas and 3 and 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are PC only. They don't have controller support. I mean, you can get them to run on like a Steam Deck and just map the controls to emulate mouse and keyboard, but they don't have native controller support. Let's see here. GTA 5 I could do. I've owned it on Steam for a while, but I haven't played it on Steam. I played the story mode on Xbox, and the story mode's the only part that works on Linux anymore, because again, they implemented anti-cheat and didn't bother to implement the Linux support for it, so that recently killed Grand Theft Auto Online on Linux, which raised a whole lot of stink. People trying to get refunds, which I get it. They're upset their game doesn't work anymore, but come on, you've had the game for 10 years. You've put thousands of hours into it. You've far surpassed the refund policy and absolutely gotten your $70 out of it. So, or $60, whatever it went for. I don't remember. You got your money out of it. I'm sorry, but expecting a refund is just no. Out of the question, in my opinion. Last of Us. I wish they would put Last of Us Part 2 on PC already so I can play it before the next season comes out of the show, but they're probably going to time the release of the game with the release of the show, which is going to delay my watching of the show because I'm going to want to play the game first, because that's how I experienced the show. The first season of the show was I waited until I played Last of Us Part 1 to watch it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, even with the differences. Still very well done. Got a bunch of Lego games here that I recently picked up in a Humble Bundle that I could maybe do some content with. If Lego's cool with it, I don't know what their deal is. Could throw up some Resident Evil. Could do Civ 6. I've never played Civ 6. I still can't believe the requirements for Civ 7. That's very unbelievable. I'm going to have to edit that out. Whoopso. Can't say that. I don't know what's going on with Asgard either with Atreus. I've got theories about what's going on, but some of it delves into what I've already played into that hasn't been put up on the channel yet. But Odin's up to no